Whee! Here we go. Okay. Alrighty. Hi everyone, it's Kino here. Welcome to day 7 of the yoga challenge. Yay! So this makes 1 full week of your brand new commitment to do yoga every day. And no matter how well you succeeded at that, if you missed a day here or there, you can always go back and make it up. But I want to congratulate you for making the commitment, for making it this far, for committing to yourself, for committing to the practice. This is no small achievement. There are many people who practiced on day 1 and are not watching this video and are not at this point of the stage of the challenge. Take a moment and say, hey self, you're doing really good. You're doing really good. You're on the way to establishing a brand new habit, a habit that really brings you into practicing yoga every day. Yay! So what is day 7? Day 7 is also the day when life starts to kick in, when the old habits start to feel stronger than the new habits, when your mind starts talking to you about, you know what? It's too hard. You know what? I'm not really flexible. You know what? Is this really making a difference, like, in my life? I don't have time. I don't have time to watch these videos every day. Like, who was I to think I could do 31 days of yoga every day? Like, I'm nuts. I have things to do, places to go, people to see, a life to live, a family to take care of, a job to do. That's the mind talking. And I am here to motivate you, to keep you inspired to practice so that you can recommit to your own practice and so that you will stay the course through the challenge. So when you hear that voice come up, this is perfect for the theme of the day. The challenge theme of the day is awareness. Awareness, the field of open awareness. Well, what do you do when you hear the voice of doubt? First and foremost, you become aware that doubt is present. You don't need to stop doubt right away, but you do need to be aware that doubt is present. Or if the old habit patterns of your life are present that seem to be pulling you into the same old cycle, instead of rolling out your yoga mat, you seem to be scrolling through Instagram. Well, I hope you find this video. I hope you find this video and that it inspires you to get on the mat and recommit yourself to the practice. What else happens when you find yourself kind of repeating the old cycles rather than building in new cycles? It's very easy in that moment to start beating yourself up. Oh, I thought I was going to do yoga every day, but instead of that, here I am and I'm watching cat videos on YouTube. So then you can start beating yourself up and be like, man, I can't believe it. I wasted all this time reading the newspaper instead of doing yoga. Now I only have 5 minutes to practice. Shouldn't even do it today. Nope. In that moment, you bring yourself into awareness. You become aware that the cycle of negativity is on repeat and you don't add more fuel to the fire. You don't add more fuel to the fire by then being mad at yourself for not attaining the goals. You just observe. Okay, I wasted time today. Okay, I procrastinated. Pure awareness. And then once you recognize that with pure awareness, you achieve 2 goals. Number 1, you train the mind in pure awareness, free from judgments, free from negativity, free from the past, pure awareness. Number 2, this gives you a wonderful vantage point to recommit yourself to the spiritual journey of yoga once more. Now, awareness is a wonderful tool, and we'll dive into that. But I want to remind you about the yoga pose of the day as well. Warrior 2, Virabhadrasana B, is the pose of the day. Remember to join me on omstars.com for a wonderful full-length practice, brand new, with yours truly, Kino, right here, and you can practice with me. Now, if you don't make it through the full video, all I'm asking you to do for this month is to put it on for the first 5 minutes. Just get on the mat for 5 minutes. Let that small commitment take you through each day. Make the commitment to go on your yoga mat or go in your yoga space, wherever that is, whether it's on a mat or a towel or just a carpet somewhere in your home, and turn the video on for 5 minutes a day. You're listening to me chat right now, so why not practice with me for 5 minutes a day? omstars.com, get your code for a free month of practice, and you get access not only to the challenge, but to our over 2,000 video library of classes and yoga lifestyle videos on omstars.com. Okay, now that we've chatted about that a little bit, let's return to the discussion about awareness. Awareness, pure awareness, the field of open awareness, is traditionally a state of mind that you cultivate, which is free from value judgments, free from the stories that we tell about whether things are good or bad. The field of pure awareness is simply observant, equanimous, non-judgmental. There are no preferences. It is not rooted in past, and it is not hankering towards the future. Pure awareness is simply aware, 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 aware of what is. Now, my best experience cultivating awareness is through the practice of meditation. As you know, I've been practicing yoga for over 20 years, and you might not know that I've also had a sitting practice for almost that amount of time, something like around 19 years. And the best place that I found to really build the faculty of pure awareness is through meditation. I practice a style of meditation called Vipassana, and I've done a few retreats that have really gotten me grounded in the method. This comes from the teaching of the Buddha. And in the language of the Buddha, which is Pali, a sister language to the ancient language of Sanskrit, awareness is called sati. And there's a famous sutta, or sutra, as it is in Sanskrit, called the Satipatthana Sutta. The Satipatthana Sutta. This is where you have the Buddha's teaching on awareness, or, as it's more popularly translated today, mindfulness. Mindfulness is a big catchphrase that you seem to see in the wellness industry all over the world, but it's important to remember that it is an ancient teaching of Buddhism, of the Buddha, from thousands of years ago. When we think about this, oh, okay, it's not just an app. Oh, okay, it's not just some technique to increase my job performance. The Buddha taught awareness, sati, as one of the 7 factors of enlightenment. So the purpose of awareness is not just to release anxiety, but that's a wonderful side effect. It's not just to make you happier, but that's a wonderful side effect. It's not just to remove your headaches, but that can be a truly wonderful side effect. But we remember that the spiritual path of yoga is aimed at liberation. We're aimed at really kind of liberating the soul from the bondages of what's called in Sanskrit the samskaras, or in the Pali sankharas. So when we think about this, these are behavioral patterns rooted in the past accumulated reaction patterns that normally cloud our vision of the future, preventing us from being fully aware, and thereby coloring the present with the scent of the past. Coloring the present with the scent of the past. And then what happens is that we recreate the past and create the future to look just like the past. We're in this cycle of what's called a samskara, this cycle that repeats over and over again. Now, when you think about that, I'm sure you can identify with so many, so much of your life. So the Buddha normally talked about sati in the Satipatthana Sutta in relation to 3 main really important concepts. Atapi, which is effort, sampajano, which is right wisdom or right understanding, and satima or sati, awareness. Now we must ask, what does the Buddha want us to be aware of? Now, here you are, and I can tell you right now, there are numerous things which you're aware of right now. You're aware of me. I'm talking to you. You're aware of this image. You're aware of this device that you're communicating with me on, that you're watching this video on. You might be aware of your surroundings, noise, sounds in the environment. You might be aware of pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral sensations that you're feeling in the body. All of these things, naturally, you're aware of. However, there's a very specific thing that we look to cultivate awareness of. Pure awareness is simply aware, not for or against any particular sensation. If pain arises, awareness says pain has arisen. If pleasure arises, awareness says pleasure has arisen. If a sensation which is neither pleasurable nor painful arises, awareness simply says a neutral sensation has arisen. That is all. This is very difficult to do. Instantly, the moment you feel something, your body and your mind are already reacting. Not even consciously reacting, already you're reacting from the past. I'm doing it as well. A pleasant breeze comes through the air, already you're reacting before you're even aware. Pleasant breeze is there, If a strong, hot, heating sensation arises in the body, already you're reacting before you simply become aware. Heating sensation is arisen in the body. So many people, when they get hot, immediately get disturbed. They immediately start, trying to cool off. They become kind of antsy, and they're reacting without simply being aware, oh, I'm hot. Another good example of an automated reaction is when you're hungry, or, as we like to say it nowadays, hangry. When you're hungry, You don't really become aware, ooh, I am hungry. You suddenly go around and are just kind of extra reactionary, annoyed at the world, and actually, without the pure awareness that says hunger is present, you may go around and become very angry at the world when in fact all you need to do is eat a sandwich or a cookie or anything that you like, even an apple. It could help, okay? So now when we think about awareness, what ideally does the Buddha advise that we should become aware of? Well, the Buddha always taught universal truths. Rather than trying to create, a religion, every enlightened being always talks about the universal truth. Universal truths are true, whether or not you believe them, just like the law of gravity. You can deny the law of gravity. It is nevertheless true. There is a universal truth that cultivating pure awareness will take you into. Pure awareness is able to recognize the truth of what the Buddha called anicca, or temporality, impermanence, the inevitable source of change, which happens in the material world as things arise, things pass. We are young one day, and then we become old. Some days we're flexible, some days we're not. Some days we're really, really hungry, some days we're not. Some days we're happy, some days we're sad. This is like that. This is life. Pure awareness recognizes, oh, things arise, things pass away. I am not that. I am not the body. I am not the mind. I am not the emotions. What am I? Pure awareness. As you begin to learn to identify more and more with the faculty of pure awareness, rather than with the reactivity of the mind, which is rooted in the past, which is not who you are, then more freedom, more love, more joy, more peace, that starts to express itself in your life. Now for today, we're going to have a small exercise in awareness, a very short meditation, which is going to help you bring awareness to a specific object of attention, your breath. As you bring your attention to this specific focal point, the breath, I want you to understand that it's not about inspecting the breath, but that the purpose is to cultivate the open field of awareness, which is simply observant, aware, non-judgmental, equanimous, and truth-seeing. I think the world today could use a high level of cultivation of awareness, truth-seeing, so that instead of reacting based on the past, based on things we've read in the newspaper, things that, assumptions that we may have made about other people or ideas, that we could truly be neutral, that we could truly be simply present, simply open, and then let wisdom unfold from there. Okay, come to a comfortable seated position. If you're not already there, close your eyes. Now as the eyes are closed, naturally the senses are directed into the inner body, into the personal space. Bring your attention, the field of your awareness, to focus in on your breath. Notice the feeling, I am breathing in as I breathe in. Notice the feeling, I am breathing out as I breathe out. In, out. Then notice where inside the body you actually feel your breath. Perhaps in the belly, perhaps in the diaphragm, perhaps in the lungs, perhaps in the chest, perhaps in the throat, perhaps inside the nose, inside the nostrils, along the upper lip, around the rim of the nostrils. Wherever you feel the breath, let your mind rest there in an open field of awareness. Notice all the qualities of the breath and practice, detaching the mind from its tendency to tell a story about preference, like or dislike. The breath may be deep or shallow, warm or cool. The breath may be free and easy. However it is, just observe, breath is deep. Observe, breath is shallow. If you notice that there's a tendency for the mind to judge, observe that too. Become aware. And say, mind is judging. And then return your attention simply to the breath. Breath is deep. Breath is shallow. Breath is warm. Breath is cool. It matters not what the breath is. There is no right or wrong way to breathe. You are cultivating awareness of the breath. Naturally, the mind jumps away. You hear sounds in the environment. Immediately, the mind is complaining, talking, telling a story. It likes this, it doesn't like that. The mind is jumping towards past thoughts, physical sensations in the body, discomfort in the body. The mind is saying, I don't like this, I don't like that. When that arises, simply observe. Mind is caught. Come back to the breath. Back to the breath. It may help you to focus more specifically, perhaps inside the nostrils and along the upper lip. And see if you can feel the breath here coming in and out of the body, cultivating pure awareness, pure awareness, pure awareness. Understand that what is simply is. There is no right, there is no wrong, other than the value judgments which are stories that we tell, very often rooted in the past, not rooted in the reality of the present. Pure awareness is a call to presence. In as you breathe in, out as you breathe out. Now gently allow yourself a deeper conscious breath. And as you exhale, open the eyes. And notice the change in the quality of your awareness as you open the eyes and look around. Perhaps you feel that little bit calmer. Perhaps you feel like you can see a little bit more clearly. Perhaps you can feel the body more relaxed, the heart more open. And this is the true benefit of tapping into that open field of awareness, which is actually the true nature of mind. Underneath all the past patterning, underneath all the future projection, there is pure presence, pure awareness, and that's what we're doing here on the practice, aiming to cultivate this open field of awareness, which is the true nature of mind. Thanks so much for joining, everyone. I hope you're enjoying the challenge. Remember, tune in tomorrow, both here live and also on omstars.com to continue your journey. Thanks, everyone. Namaste.